So we're pretty excited about our new tie rods and drag links. We're getting them custom made, extra heavy duty, a little stronger steel. Few designs Ingersoll Case could have thought out a little better, because you'll notice on the machines, and we got a bunch of them, they're all, I don't know if you can see this thing has been welded, it's bent, it's probably it's been sleeved, it's got a U bend in this thing and an S. And it's common, because the worst thing is when you don't have anything on the attachments, this is the tie rod is the first thing to hit. Also, with your steering wheel and drag link, if you go into a pothole or a ditch and the tire goes down and twists your wheel, the drag link bends very easily. So there was a few generations of tie rods and drag links over here on this 404 PK. These are the early 70s, late 60s style. And they're so tiny thin. If you look at, hopefully the camera shows a difference, but our new one underneath compared to this original design, just massive compared to it. The same thing over here. You can see the bend in the bow, hopefully, in this drag link. It's the same thing. We've got drag links for the right length, obviously. Even with these thin ones, just turning the wheel with a plow or a snowblower on it will bend and bow these long drag links. And then what they did is they tried to do the better design, and then they made these hollow drag links where your rod ends thread into them. And tubing is pretty strong if the wall thickness is thick enough, but it's not on these. So these will also tend to break and bend quite frequently. And the rod ends with the threads in there and stuff just don't always work out really well. And then they went to another generation. Let's see, this tractor over here actually has it. So these things are not quite as big as ours, but they look beefier, right? Well, the problem is they drilled a hole through them for grease, I guess is the reason. I'm not really sure, even though these fittings are non-greasable. There's a hole drilled through these from one end to the other. So we've got the greasable upgraded heim joints, so you can grease our heim joints and it'll fill the cavity, which is a waste of grease, and hit both ball joints. But these things being hollow, they bend, especially where they're neck down here quite a bit. They bend and break in here quite often. Or if you smash into a stump or a stone wall or anything, these get hit because they're the first thing out here, ahead of the axle. So we put these thicker ones on that'll take a lot more abuse and beating, and it'll take a lot more to bend and break these. Now, sure, you could go much thicker than this, but at some point you need something to give, and these are cheaper and easier to replace, and then you'll start breaking spindles and stuff if these are too heavy. The way they came out of the factory all years, they were just too weak. And then we'll go into the next generation. So now, this is the latest generation, or last generation, which is a similar design to what we've got here, except you probably can't see on the camera, but ours is still significantly thicker and heavier duty. These are solid. They stopped drilling the centers out, thank goodness. But these still bend and bow very easily, this and as well as the drag links on the non-power steering models. We're going to offer these nice heavy-duty custom-made ones. Obviously got right hand thread and left hand thread. Our heavy-duty ball joint, heim joints rather, our heavy-duty heim joints make a great match and a pair to these. And they really go a long way in making these things heavier duty in your steering system. Just another thing that we think that the tractors needed an upgrade from. Awesome machines, but there are a few small things, and this is one that everybody complains about. And you buy a few of these at the OEM specs and price, and you'll realize that it's worth getting the heavier duty ones. And here's what the tie rod ends or tie rod and drag link heavy duty upgrade looks like on the machine with our heavy duty upgraded heim joints. Quite a bit of room for adjustment. And then the tie rod, again with our heavy duty ends on them. You see how nice they pivot, how much rotation you get and articulation. And it's probably hard to tell on camera. How much heavier these really are, but they're a vast improvement. And again, we leave you lots of room for adjustment. This thing turns very sharply. With our upgraded front end kit, our axle pin, our poor man's power steering that's in that kit, these rod ends, it all makes the steering much nicer, much easier. Your turning radius much tighter. This pin makes a huge difference. But we're excited to keep offering new upgraded products and try to keep the things as affordable as we can. This is a 448 we restored coming on 2 years, year and a half ago. Complete sandblast, the whole 9 yards. It was torn down, every nut bolt replaced, every fitting, every bushing. And we use it for snow removal and a lot of other odd jobs during the summertime. But we got videos on this and a bunch of other stuff as well. We got to rub these out and wax them. They really do need it, but not too bad. They hold up pretty well so far. Do a video with these side by side. Hopefully you can see. I do the comparison. Ours is on the left in this shot. And just notice the difference from the latest OEM answer to the tie rod and drag link issues. So this is the one closest to us now, is the OEM answer. And it's probably generation 4 or 5 of tie rod and drag links. It's definitely their best one so far. But we figured to take it up a step above, and it still need to be done because we still have issues of these coming in bent. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there's still a significant difference here. And as you guys know, with metal, going up in size is not a linear increase in strength. It's usually multiple times stronger. So the original ones, like we showed you there, were 1/2 inch, just incredibly way too small out of a way too soft metal. Now ours is closest to us. I don't know if you can see the height difference or not, but again, quality custom rod made to our specs. The other thing you will notice that we do here is we make our threads a little bit longer on the end. You actually have more thread engagement if you want it, need it. Not always necessary, but some places, some tractors, we do find you can do more adjustment and get a few more threads out of these to get better turning radius or better equalization of the steering. So we figured to add slight amount of thread increase as a optional benefit there if you need it. Again, this is tie rod, drag link for all 200, 400 series machines and 3000, 4000. So it's available. Obviously the tie rods are different sizes. The drag link is the same. And for not a whole heck of a lot more than the increase in cost of OEM replacements, you're getting a much better, much stronger rod here. These are custom made to our specs using a stronger steel. I don't know if you can pick up the difference in here. Our rod is in the center. And the 2 stock sizes are on the outside. I didn't know if this shot would help you at all see the difference. Again, depending on the year of your machine, you may have a much bigger difference than this even. If you've got an early machine, the difference is incredible. These 2 are on the outside here, are OEM rods that we just got in. That are the latest update. And we just take it a step above and beyond. We've got one closest to us is a tie rod for the small wheel series, 200, 3000. The one in the middle is tie rod for 400, 4000 big wheel series. And the back one is drag link for all manual steering Case Ingersoll Garden tractors. So I wanted to show you, these pair great with our heavy duty greasable heim joints we offer. So we kept the thread size the same as the OEM. That way you can use the standard rod end sizes if you want to use the poor quality OEM ones, the original ball joint ones. If you're original, you can still thread those on, or you can thread on heavy duty or aftermarket ball joints and heim joints. These ones we sell on our website, and it's going to be an option with this kit. But they're much heavier duty, made in America, greasable heim joints. And here's just this big, massive rod. It's not stupid looking on the machine. It doesn't look out of place. It just looks stout and looks like what should have been on there from day one, honestly. But yes, to get these upgraded tie rods, drag links, as well as the ends and a bunch of other parts, We've got a ton of OEM parts as well as custom kits, upgraded items, and a lot of add-ons. CaseIngersollTractors.com. That's tractors with an S. CaseIngersollTractors.com. Be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps us and it helps others find our videos. We really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.